Hello, welcome to Raymond Castile's basement of horror. Today we are going to review a toy. This is the first time that anyone has sent me a toy for review. In the past, when I've reviewed things like the Mego figures and the Super 7 figures, I've always gone out and bought that stuff, paid with my own money, gone to the store through mail order and purchased it. This is the first time someone has sent me a toy specifically for me to review. So I did not pay for this toy. It was sent to me to review on this show. And I'm very pleased to do so. And this is a first, but maybe in the future other people will send me toys to review. I can't guarantee that I would. I mean, please check with me before you send something, because I might say no, I don't want to review that, or it doesn't fit the show, or I don't think I'm going to give it a positive review. In this case, the person behind this toy did check with me, and I said, sure, I'd be happy to review it. So let us just get right on to it. And I've deliberately, this was sent to me some time ago, but I deliberately left it in this box until today so that when I took it out, I would have a fresh reaction to it. So I haven't had it out of this box. This is the box it was shipped to me in. And I've had it a while, so I told the person behind it, who I'll not trying to be mysterious, just trying not to put the cart before the horse. I told him that it would take a while for me to get to this because I wanted to do the Halloween stuff and so on. So it would be like the Christmas holiday season. Okay, so here we go. Here we are. It's a big toy. It is the Pugloo from Planet P. The Pugloo from Planet P. Here he is in his box. He's a little tall for this camera here in the box, so we'll use this camera. Pugloo from Planet P, and I will tell you about what is this toy, what's it all about, what's the idea here. Now, I haven't touched this thing yet. I was under the impression that this was a soft vinyl figure. So last season, I reviewed some soft vinyl figures from a boutique toy company. And so I'm thinking this is in the same genre, but I don't know if it's made of vinyl. It might be made of plastic, might be rigid, I don't know. I'm assuming it's vinyl, but we'll find out. Now, if I were buying this for my own collection, I would, of course, leave it in the package, just like this. But because this was sent for review, I think the person who sent this would be disappointed if I left this in the package. I think his idea was that I take it out and show everybody in detail what this toy is like. So that's what I will do. So that'll be a first on this show, to see me open a box and take out a toy. So before we do that, let us talk about what this is and who made it and what's going on here. All right, let me consult my notes. So, the designer of this toy and the person who sent it to me is a very talented young man named Adam Dougherty. Adam Dougherty. He's also known as KreatureKid, spelt with a K, KreatureKid. And the reason for that is he first really came on the scene and became known for designing Creature from the Black Lagoon related items like garage kits and toys and novelties and things. He made his name sculpting the likeness of the creature. So I don't know if he picked that name KreatureKid or if that was a nickname other people gave him and it stuck. But as long as I've known him, I've always just called him KreatureKid. I think most people call him KreatureKid still, even though he's really moved past that stage where he was designing garage kits and stuff. But he's not just talented, he has a unique vision. I would compare him to someone like Tim Burton. I think he gets compared to Tim Burton a lot, even though their styles are not really that similar. Like, this doesn't look like Tim Burton, but they both have this very unique way of designing creatures. When you look at it, you say, oh yeah, that's a Tim Burton creature. You would also look at one of Adam's creations and say, that's Adam Dougherty, or that's KreatureKid. That looks like something he would sculpt. So he has an instantly recognizable style. And it's uniquely his own. I don't even know who to compare it to. I mean, it's kind of too easy to reach for Tim Burton. That's sort of like the one anyone would think of first. But it's not really that much like Tim Burton. I don't know who to compare it to. It's Adam. It's his style. Adam began his career designing garage kits, like resin garage kits. And I'm assuming he at first made these things in his house and sold them himself. But he graduated from that to being hired by other garage kit companies to make sculptures for them. And I first took notice of his kits when he made a series of Topstone related resin kits, and you could buy them as kits that you would build, or you could buy them already assembled and pre-painted. They were pretty expensive, otherwise I would have bought one or two for myself, but they were pretty expensive, so unfortunately I don't have any of those. For a while he was really into Topstone and the Keith Ward Topstone characters, and he designed a giant shock monster. I was going to say a life-size, but what is a life-size shock monster? It was actually much bigger than a human being. I don't even know how many feet it was. It looked like it was maybe 7 feet tall, but it was hunched over. And this was a life-size display prop of the shock monster, his own original take on the shock monster. He got a lot of notice with the garage kits, with his display props that he was making. And then he was hired to do some styrene plastic kits. So one of the most important ones, the most notable ones, was a Creature from the Black Lagoon kit made by Mobius. Mobius models made this plastic, like the Aurora creature, styrene plastic. A model of the Creature from the Black Lagoon holding Kay, the woman in that movie, Julie Adams' character, Kay, holding her in his arms. And it was an extraordinary kit. You could buy it with or without Kay. You could buy it just with the creature, or you could buy the creature and Kay. And that kit, that got a lot of notice. That was a little masterpiece of monster model design. A lot of people gave him accolades for that kit. And he went on from there to do other toys and model kits for other companies. And then he started working on films and television. And I think this is what he was building up to the whole time. He wanted to be in the movies and in TV. And he started doing sculpting and concept art and designing and puppet making for projects like Godzilla, King of the Monsters, and the HBO Watchmen series, the Annabelle franchise, It, Jurassic World, The Nun, many other films and TV shows. So his career was really taking off, and still is. It's just, it'll be to the point where I'll have to make an appointment to talk to him if it's not there already. But he wanted to make his own film. So he was working on other people's projects, but he wanted to make his own films. He wanted to be a filmmaker. So he sold a bunch of his toys and masks and things in his collection to finance buying equipment to start shooting his own films. And I can identify with that. If you saw the In Love with Toys special edition, and you saw after the film, you saw me talking, I talked about how I, in the 90s, purchased equipment with that idea that I would make my own films. Now, it was standard definition VHS-based equipment, so that didn't work out too well, but because you really needed film equipment in the 90s. But today, of course, you can buy high-definition video that can make a professional-looking project. It's within the grasp of people who are not millionaires to buy quality video production equipment that can make a final product that's professional. One of the first things he did was a short film in 2017, a short film called Pugloo from Planet P. Pugloo from Planet P. And it is a very short film. I'll put a link in the description so you can watch it yourself. It's about a little boy, and I'm guessing he's, I think at the setting, the time period is the 1960s, I think, just based on some of the things that are in his room and what he's watching on TV. So it's the 60s, and he is watching an old sci-fi movie on television. And he's got a little toy ray gun, and he's in his pajamas, and he's sneaking around the living room as he's watching TV, like hiding behind things, pretending he's a spaceman or an astronaut on some planet. And he kind of imagines himself, like the movie and his imagination meld, and his play all meld together. So we now see his play world, what he's imagining. He imagines himself as this astronaut on this alien planet, exploring the terrain, looking at the creatures and everything. And the kid has a pug dog that is sleeping on the couch, and he pretends it's an alien. He's going to shoot it. And then we see in his imagination that the pug dog is this creature, the Pugloo. It's this giant. So the astronaut is little compared to this monster. And we see this Pugloo as a stop-motion animated puppet marching forward and attacking the astronaut. And it picks up the astronaut, and then in the film it's like a giant rubber hand, like something that would be in a King Kong movie. And it picks up the astronaut, and then we cut back to the kid, and he's on the floor with his pug is like on top of him playing. So he's imagining he's like fighting with the Pugloo. And that's pretty much the film. It's just this little snippet of this child's play world, his imagination, where he imagines he's an astronaut on an alien planet, and his pug dog is this giant monster. Now, let me show you the side, because the monster in the film is green. The monster in the film is green, like the image on the side of this box. But this toy is blue, and I'll explain what's going on there in a second. So for this film, Adam created a stop-motion model, and he's got a making of behind-the-scenes video that you can watch where it shows how he's making this creature. And he created the the backdrop and the set and the miniature set, and he animated this Pugloo one frame at a time, like a Ray Harryhausen stop motion creation. I'm sure that was his, Harryhausen and Willis O'Brien would be his influences there. And so he did it sort of old-fashioned. He could have done like CGI or some other technique, but he particularly wanted to do the old school stop motion animation, just for artistic reasons, but also to teach himself how to do that, and to have that as another skill in his arsenal of things he could do. And the film was very well received, to the point where I don't know if he approached someone or if someone approached him, but it garnered enough attention that he decided to make a toy of the Pugloo. So we partnered with this company called ISH, 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 which is owned by Justin Ishmael, who is the former CEO of Mondo. I don't think he's still with Mondo. I think he used to be with Mondo. And if you don't know what Mondo is, they do all kinds of novelties and apparel and stuff based on cult films and posters, limited edition posters. I think they're best known for their posters, really. And they put out some soundtrack albums for films that maybe wouldn't otherwise have a soundtrack album. So they're known for merchandising based on cult films. To simplify it, that's basically what they are. And they're very well known. The company is very well known, very popular. So Justin was the CEO of that company. And he's done a lot of work with branding and licensing, toy design, clothing design. And now he has this company, ISH, that produces toys like this one. So Adam created the character based on his pug. The pug in the movie, I believe, is Adam's actual pet pug. And he created this character based on his pug. And I think the one in the movie was all Adam, but this toy is sculpted by Adam and Isabel Anderson. So he collaborated with Isabel Anderson to make this toy. Okay, so I'll tell you a little bit more about the availability of it and everything in a second, but let's look at this box. And interesting that I was saying his nickname is KreatureKid, so he brands himself as KreatureKid because it's let me see if I can get this on. No, I can't. I don't know if you can see that. So he brands himself as KreatureKid, and it's on the back of the box. KreatureKid.com. It's got the KreatureKid logo. Produced and created by KreatureKid. So the film is directed by Adam Dougherty, produced and directed Pugloo, created by KreatureKid. So that's interesting. So he's splitting, like the film credit is in his name. It's directed. It's directed by Adam Dougherty, but the Pugloo is created by KreatureKid. So when it comes to the creature design, he's branding that as KreatureKid. When it comes to the filmmaking, he's using his own name. That's interesting. And on the back, you can see it's got the landscape from the planet. And there's images from that planet landscape on the box on all different sides here. Here you can see it there. So that's pretty much what the planet looks like in the film. Okay, let's open this up. Huh. This is a first. Never opened up a toy on this show before. It does have collector-friendly packaging. Ooh. Now, this is interesting. I don't know if I can get a shot of this or not. It's kind of hard to see, but inside the box, can you see that? Inside the box is more of that planetary landscape. Yeah, you can't really see it. So the landscape of the planet is inside the box. I don't think you can see it through the window. Probably not. It's too dark. Let's put this over here. So this is the kind of packaging that he comes in. He's got this plastic insert that he rests inside. It lifts off. Now there is some tape there. I think that's more, though. I'm not sure what that's for. Yeah, there's some tape that's already kind of coming off. Okay. I still make gloves. Get the gloves out. Because these look so nice, I don't want to smudge them. Oh, I think I hear a cat coming. No, not yet anyway. All right. So he has this base, and I thought only the deluxe ones had the base, but no, he's got this display. Well, it's not exactly a base, but it's a display sign that we would sit in front of him. And we'll see what that looks like. I don't know if that's plastic or resin. Probably resin. Okay. So the insert where this thing goes, it's splitting. The plastic is splitting. Yeah. Let's lift him out. Is this plastic splitting? No. Okay, Pugloo, stay right there. So I'm like right in there. The plastic is splitting. So in time, this might go through the plastic or cave in a little bit. Just something. If you're like a mint and box fanatic, like me and some other people on YouTube, that might be a concern. But most people who would collect something like this would take it out of the box and put it on a shelf. Now, what's he made of? I think that's a vinyl. Yeah, that's vinyl. So he is a vinyl toy. I wasn't sure. Now I can. Now he can fit on this camera. He's cute. There he is. He looks like the one in the movie, except he's blue, not green. And I'll talk about why in a second. The one in the movie is green. This guy is blue. But other than that, I mean, it looks like the puppet used in the movie. I do not think, in fact, I'm sure it was not made from the same molds as the one in the film. Because I've seen the behind-the-scenes footage of Adam making the one in the film, and it's like twice as big as this. It's much, it's like that. So, unless he scanned it and scaled it down, but he probably just resculpted it. Let's see what does it say here. It says KreatureKid and ISH. KreatureKid and ISH, the two players involved with this production of this toy. And he's got a cute little tail. Look at his little tail. Just like a pug. Now, again, normally I wouldn't be posing a toy and moving him around, but I will in this case. So, let's see how he moves. Oh, there he goes. As you would expect, I mean, for a vinyl figure, he's nice and stiff. Do his hands move? Yep. His wrists move. And his head is his face moves. I'm a little reluctant to. There we go. It gives him a little different personality. And in the film, his head turns like that. It swivels like that. It's made in a very similar way to this toy, but his mouth also moves. I think his eyes move. Not this, the one in the movie. The one in the movie has articulation in the mouth and the eyes, but the head in the one in the movie, the head moves pretty much the same as this toy. It just has like that joint, just like that, and moves back and forth like a clockwise, counterclockwise. And that's kind of how he conveys emotion, like surprise, annoyance, determination. It has a lot to do with how his head is positioned. And let's see about his his legs. Yep, there they go. And do his feet move? They look like they would. Maybe not. I don't want to force it. There's a joint there, but I don't know if it's supposed to move or not, so I'm not going to pull on it. Does it say? I don't know. But I'm not going to move that. He does have, I mean, his ankles look like they're jointed. But I don't know if that's just where the feet are glued onto the legs or if they're supposed to move. I would think, because it would be easy to just mold it as one piece, that they must be intended to move. I'm just afraid to try. You can see I'm not used to actually handling new toys and moving them around. Ah, there it goes. Okay. Okay, it didn't break. Yeah, so the feet move. There we go. I don't think you want to do that too much because it might get wobbly. Let's see, where else does he move? Well, let's pose him. So, like, what would be a pose from the movie? So he might be like this coming after the astronaut. Hey, I don't think his arms would move that much higher up. They kind of want to stop there. You could yank them all the way, I'm sure, but I don't know if that would be wise. Now he's saying hi. Hello. He's pretty cool. A lot of posability. And a lot of vinyl figures don't have any posability. They're just statues. They just sit there. So it's nice that he is an action figure. He is a vinyl action figure. He moves as much as you'd expect an action figure to move. The only thing that he doesn't have, I mean, doesn't have jointed elbows or knees, but a lot of action figures don't. He's got basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 points of articulation, and that's not bad. Considering the kind of toy he is, that's actually generous articulation, I think. The only, I mean, it would interfere with the sculpt and might interfere with the stability and structural integrity of the toy, but the only thing that I think they might have considered would be swivel joints at the elbows. I think that would have worked. He's got wrinkles that might have, where they might have hid the joints, but that's not a big deal. It's probably better without that to preserve the look of the sculpt instead of interrupting that with a line. Now, one thing I noticed about a lot of vinyl, both toys and also kits back in the day, when I used to build vinyl kits, I don't do that now, but in the 90s I did, they do tend to be kind of shallow. Like I notice here his back, it doesn't come out. It kind of looks sunken. And I don't know, without looking at the film, I don't know if that's exactly the way it looks in the movie or not. Probably, but it still has that look that a lot of vinyl toys have, where they're kind of thinner, just a tad thinner than you think they should be, or a little scrunched in. And I've noticed with a lot of vinyl stuff that tends to be the case. You don't see, well, it depends how big it is. The bigger it is, the less likely you're going to see a big, bulky kind of a vinyl figure. Maybe if it's smaller, but so I don't know. I mean, he's got a nice big belly sticking out. I don't know if I don't know anything about making vinyl toys. If it would have been, if it was just happened, that's how the character's designed, or if poofing them out a little bit, giving a little more bulk, would have been a problem with this medium, working in vinyl like this. What else can we say about him? He's really cute. He's a very cute toy. He's very, very well made, very solid. He's heavy. He's got some heft. Joints all move smoothly and they're stiff, but you can definitely move them. I think the articulation makes sense, and that head articulation that's genius. That's the selling point as far as the articulation is concerned. That really is clever to because he didn't have to do that. He could have just made the face part of the torso and just made this one piece, but he went the extra mile to give it that joint. And I think that plays a big part in giving the toy personality, being able to move it like that. That difference in the tilt of the head gives it a different attitude. I think he's really cute, and the paint, I haven't even talked about the paint. The paint on his eyes, his mouth, it's fine. I mean, there's not, like the eyes, I don't think there's any fine detail inside the eye, like the iris or anything like that, but that's okay. That probably wouldn't look right anyway on this style of toy. He's got cute little teeth, and they look like they're like red base with off-white on top of that. That's good. And then the rest of the body, it's black claws and just blue over probably a black or dark blue or black base. So it's a simple color scheme, but it works. It's got little scales that are darker, little spotted scales. And that actually reminds me of this. Here's a vinyl Horizon creature from the Black Lagoon model kit that I made a long time ago, back in the 90s. And let's see where would be the best place to show that. You can see how I painted the little dots like that. So he's got little dark spots in his scales. Some scales are dark, like kind of peppered. Hopefully you can see what I'm talking about. And that's kind of a nice effect. Again, he didn't have to do that. He could have just made that just all blue. But they went the extra mile and made those little dark spots. Okay, so, let's see what it looks like with the base. So there's his base. There's the base. And he just stands there. And if this were a level table, he would stand. But it's, the table is kind of swoops down the middle. It's kind of concave. I'll just hold him like that. So that's what he looks like with his stance. He would display him with this in front of him. Put him on the shelf like that. He's leaning on it. Let's see. We'll see if he stands on this. Yeah, he stands fine. Can you see him back there? So there is the Pugloo, standing pretty. Maybe I should add him to this. Here's some stuff I put up here for this post-Halloween part of the season. I could add Pugloo up there. He might make a good addition. I'll think about it. So, why is he blue when the character is green? ISH offers this creature in different colors. So, you can get the green one. Now, I didn't have any say in which one was sent to me, but Adam sent me a blue one. He thought it looked kind of like a Yeti. He knows I like Yetis. It's just speaking of Yetis. Nothing to do with anything. I adore this trashy movie called Shriek of the Mutilated. It's an early 70s, very low budget movie, Shriek of the Mutilated. And I have a couple of these custom. They're different. I have two different ones. They're custom action figures based on the monster in Shriek of the Mutilated. And this is made, the guy who makes this calls himself Toyden, Toyden, Toyden. And he made two of these over, not at the same time, a few years apart, and I got both of them. These are one of a kind. He didn't make like a series. As far as I know, he made one of each, and I got them both. And this is the more refined of the two. But I kind of like the other one. It's more crude, but I think I prefer the other one. Although this is the more professional looking one. But I mentioned Yeti, so I hadn't planned on showing that, but that'll be up there just as my little tribute to Shriek of the Mutilated. If you look at my channel, I made I could do a whole show about Shriek of the Mutilated. If there's ever a special edition Blu-ray of Shriek of the Mutilated, and you want commentary or something for the extras, a bonus, some talking head of a crazy fan, I'm your guy. I'm the guy for that. If you go on my channel, there's an unofficial soundtrack album I made, because there is no real soundtrack album for Shriek of the Mutilated, so I made one. Because they used pre-existing music, so I dug up the cues that they used, the same recordings they used in the movie, and I assembled a soundtrack album for Shriek of the Mutilated. That's quite a departure, but that's one of the things I do here. I depart. Back to this. So Adam thought this was kind of Yeti looking because it was blue. So I think that's part of why I got... Oh, look, he's standing. He is standing on his own. Will he stand this way? He will. Ah. There you go. He just needed a little adjustment with the legs. Okay, so he comes in green, just like the one in the movie. And there's a standard, and then there's a deluxe that also has a cloth backdrop that looks like the background in the planet that you see in the film. And then there's this blue one, and they call him BLOO. Instead of BLUE, he's BLOO, blue. And he also, they just have the standard version of him. They don't have a deluxe version of him. They have an unpainted green and an unpainted blue. So there's one that's just all green vinyl, no paint, and just blue vinyl, no paint. And I think the unpainted blue might be sold out. I'm not sure. The page, when you try to access the page on the site, nothing comes up. I don't know if that's an error or if it's sold out. Then there was a limited edition pumpkin version that was pumpkin orange and with looks like maybe a dark green or brownish green shadowing highlights. So the limited edition pumpkin orange was limited to just 13, and it sold out. And it was expensive. It was $250. And limited to 13 and sold out. This one, the blue, is limited to 250. So there's 250 of these blue guys. The green one, the standard one, is limited to 500, and the deluxe is limited to 300. So there's 800 green ones. And I don't know about unpainted green and blue, how many of those there are. And I think in the world of soft vinyl, it's called sofubi, S-O-F-U-B-I. It's not sofubi, it's sofubi. I think in that world, that kind of production run is, I think, pretty average. Something like 200 to 500 and a few hundred. They don't make them by the thousands. And they usually don't make them just a dozen or so. It's usually a few hundred. So that's not unusual, that production run. And I will put a link in the description to where you can go if you want to buy one of these. Currently, as of this recording, he's $55, green or blue, which is pretty reasonable for a very well done vinyl articulated figure like this. I've paid more, and I don't even really collect vinyl, but I've paid more than that. I've paid more than 100 before for vinyl figures that were not as good as this. So that's a very reasonable price. $55 for that is a very good price. But that's not the regular price. It's like a holiday sale. So if you're thinking about it, go get in there and buy it. Don't wait till January, because the price will probably be double. I think the deluxe, since I don't know for sure, I don't want to say. It's a little more, but not much more. But the standard green or blue is $55, which is excellent price. I mean, you could go to Target and find a toy on the shelf for that much. I mean, so for a limited edition collector quality piece like this, that's a very good price. If you're into collecting this kind of stuff, soft vinyl figures, I don't know why you wouldn't want him. He's cute. He's a cool monster. He's original. I like the blue. Personally, I think the green is the better choice for this character because that's the one in the movie. The one in the movie is green. And I think for something that's supposed to be like an old-fashioned 50s, 60s style outer space monster, green is the iconic color. You know, a monster from another planet is going to be green. That there's a reason that the creature in the movie is green. That's the classic iconic color for a space alien. Blue is a little more of a modern color scheme. So, I mean, buy what you want, obviously, but I think the best color out of like blue, green, or pumpkin, the green, maybe that's the safe choice because it's the one in the movie, but I like the green color. I think that looks best on him. But, you know, blue is cool too. That's different. It has a different look, a different style in blue than it does in green. Pumpkin is good for a novelty. And, you know, I'm a Halloween fan, obviously. I love Halloween. So, but I guess if I were paying for it and I was only going to have one, I'd probably pick the green over the pumpkin or the blue. If you could afford the pumpkin one and got in there before it sold out and you could have all three, well, great. So why is it in all these different colors? That's part of the collecting culture of vinyl, people, sofubi collectors. They like the different color variants. They like to have the standard one, the realistic colors, and then the all black, all white, all silver, all glow in the dark, all icy blue, all fiery red, lava colored, all these different variants. So that's pretty standard with that collecting genre, to make different editions of the same thing, different colors. The vinyls that I showed last season, those were available in different colors, but I'm only collecting one color variant of that set. I'm not going to collect different colors. So I think that pretty much wraps it up. I mean, he's very cute, he's very cool, very well designed, very well sculpted, very detailed, well painted. The articulation's good. It's a good solid toy. Looks good on a shelf. So I'd say it's an awesome toy. If you think he's cute, get in there and buy one. I don't know that there's much of a danger of that edition selling out, but the price will go up. So if you want them, get in there now and get them before the price goes up, if it hasn't already. Okay, so I think I'll put them back now. And you know, this is cool that Adam sent this to me, because I would not have bought this. This is a little outside my wheelhouse. It's not something that probably would have been on my radar. So it's good that I kind of got exposed to something a little different, you know, a little outside my comfort zone, which probably would not have happened if he had not sent it. So that's a cool thing about someone sending me something to review. That's probably going to be something that I wouldn't have bought otherwise, and that just kind of exposes me to some different things that I might not have considered on my own. Okay. I'm not going to put them back in this box until after I'm done here, because it might take some juggling to get them in there. All right, so I hope you all watched the special edition of In Love with Toys. If you haven't, please watch that special edition of In Love with Toys. And the standard edition, see, it's just like vinyls. I make them in the deluxe edition and the standard edition. The standard edition In Love with Toys will be uploaded on Christmas morning. So on Christmas morning, I will upload just the documentary itself without my commentary or the panel discussion or any of that stuff. Just the documentary. So if you want to watch it without, I mean, really, there's no reason why the other stuff would get in your way. You just choose not to watch it. But if for whatever reason you want to watch just the documentary and not even see that other stuff, then that version will be online on my channel Christmas morning. The standard version of the remastered In Love with Toys without the bonus features. So if you're listening to me saying, what the heck is he even talking about? Just look at my channel. It's this documentary I made about toy collecting in 1995. So for the 25th anniversary, I remastered it, made it look and sound nice, because it was looking and sounding pretty bad previously. So now it looks and sounds good. And I also recorded a commentary and had a panel discussion with people who are in the documentary from 95, like kind of where are they now, panel discussion where we revisit them, see how they're doing, and talk about where the hobby has gone in the last 25 years. So check that out if you haven't already. Let's see. Of course, I'll be doing more Basement of Horror videos in the weeks to come. I might not be as regular about it as I have in the past. So please be patient. I mean, it's the holidays, a lot of stuff going on. But I'll get new episodes out as soon as I can. Might not be every week, but I'll try not to let more than 2 weeks pass without a new episode. And I'll try to get them out every week if I can. And there might be a week where I get 2 out. I don't know. We'll see. So another little bit of business. First of all, I never really ask you to subscribe, but I'm going to start putting this little subscribe thing on the screen. So hopefully you're seeing it now. This little subscribe graphic. So please subscribe to this channel. I'm currently right around 1,700 subscribers, just under, I think it's, unless I just hit 1,700. Last I checked, it was like 1,688. So just under 1,700. I sure would like to cross the 2,000 threshold very soon. I mean, I'd like to cross the 100,000 threshold. I don't think that's going to happen, but we can get to 2,000. So if you haven't subscribed, please do that. Also, now this is important. Last year when we had the whole COPPA scare, remember that? And everyone was worried about COPPA, including me, that the government was going to come down on YouTube creators and fine them, and YouTube was going to delete their channels because they were making content for children. So all the people who are doing like toy videos, I don't make this for children. This is for an adult audience, for collectors, but it's about toys. So there was all this fear that we were going to get caught in the crossfire and get fined by the government and get our channels deleted. So there was a lot of hysteria, and for good reason. It was a lot of uncertainty back then, and both the government and YouTube did a lousy job of communicating what was really going on, and caused a lot of unnecessary anxiety among YouTube creators. Okay, so that was about this time last year. At that time, I made a Facebook group for this channel, with the idea being, if this channel ever got deleted, I could continue on the Facebook group. But I've never promoted it. I've never sought members. There's a couple of people who found it on their own and became members, but there's almost nobody there right now because I've never done anything with it. It was just like a kind of backup. All right, so now I want to start promoting that. If you watch this channel and you like this channel, please go to that Facebook group. I will put a link in the description and become a member. I want to start building a community in that group. It'll be slow at first. I'm sure there won't be more than a dozen or so people at first, but hopefully over time it'll grow, and we'll have a community of like-minded collectors and enthusiasts in that group. Whatever experience you get out of watching the show will carry over into that Facebook group. And I'll post these episodes in that group as well. So check that out. I think that's everything I wanted to talk about. Thank you, Adam Dougherty, KreatureKid, for sending me the Pugloo. I appreciate it. I hope you're satisfied with the review. And if you're a toy manufacturer and you want to send me things for review, I guess now you have an example of how it goes, for better or for worse. Just let me know ahead of time so I can tell you whether it's something I'm interested in reviewing or not. Because I might not be, so let me know. Okay, well, that's it. So, thank you again for watching this program. Remember, the one who dies with the most toys is dead.